Hi, I'm Shani Smith, and today I want to share how my work experiences have shaped the way that I view leadership and ignited my passion for entrepreneurship. I didn't grow up dreaming of becoming a leader or entrepreneur. As a child, I was more interested in writing in my diary and reading books than standing in front of a crowd. But life has a way of nudging you in the direction you're meant to go. Sometimes gently, sometimes not so gently. My professional journey began in science. I earned a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from Tennessee State University and a Master's of Science in Chemistry from North Carolina State University. Eventually, I pursued another Master of Science in Cybersecurity Policy and Management. Over the years, working has given me a front row seat to leadership. But it also taught me something unexpected. Leadership isn't always about the title. In fact, some of my most meaningful leadership growth happened not when I got a promotion, but when I got passed over. I've been passed over for promotion 7 times. That could have broken me. And honestly, the first time, it almost did. But each no pushed me to look inward and ask, what can I control? I decided to build skills that I could carry anywhere, like writing, public speaking, and strategic thinking. I joined Toastmasters, gave speeches, led club initiatives, and began to find my voice. That voice became my superpower. I wrote my first book in 2019. I didn't part my lips. Survival Strategies for Introverts Living in an Extroverted World. That title was inspired by a phrase that my grandmother used to say, and it reminds me daily that your story, even as an introvert, is worth sharing. Writing that book gave me a sense of autonomy that I'd never experienced in my career. I wasn't waiting on someone to recognize my efforts. I was creating my own opportunity. Then came public speaking. I delivered a keynote speech at a global conference and embraced moments where I could pour into others. The more I spoke, the more I realized leaders don't just direct, they serve, they share, and they inspire. Leadership isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about having the courage to say something that matters. One of the most pivotal lessons in leadership came when I stepped outside of my comfort zone. Literally. I took on a mystery shopping assignment that required me to smile, engage, and handle rejection with grace. It was uncomfortable. And as an introvert, talking to strangers wasn't exactly my dream gig. But I did it. And I learned that courage is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. There was also a time I volunteered with a nonprofit to serve dinner to individuals with mental disabilities and their caregivers. That night, something shifted in me. I wasn't focused on my anxiety or how I came across. I was focused on service. That's when it hit me. Leadership is empathy in action. My experiences as a single mother also reinforced my values. Becoming a mother redefined my priorities. I no longer had the luxury of wasting time. Everything I did had to count for me and for my daughter. That urgency sharpened my time management and deepened my sense of purpose. I realized I wasn't just building a career, I was building a legacy. As I matured professionally, I noticed something else. I didn't want to spend my life waiting for validation from a system that wasn't built to see me fully. That's when the entrepreneurial mindset started to grow within me. Not out of ambition, but out of necessity. I wanted creative freedom, financial flexibility, and most importantly, impact. Entrepreneurship for me is not just about starting a business. It's about reclaiming ownership of your gifts. Whether I'm writing, speaking, or mentoring other authors through my YouTube channel, I've learned that every skill I developed in my traditional job, from resilience to public communication, translates beautifully to building something of your own. So here I am, author, speaker, chemist, mother, and entrepreneur in the making. And I've learned that you don't have to choose between structure and creativity, or service and self-expression. You can integrate them. Leadership, to me, is about showing up fully. It's about lifting others while you rise, being honest about your journey, and taking risk even when you're afraid. And entrepreneurship is simply the decision to bet on yourself, even if it means starting small, starting late, or starting over. If you're watching this and you've ever felt boxed in by your career, overlooked for promotion, or unsure if you're qualified to lead or start a business, let me tell you, you are more than ready. Your story, your experience, your voice, they matter. And your time, it's not too late. In fact, it might be right on time.